day one of my mini vacation with the wife out of town. 14 inches, give or take. Hey guys, we're going to do something a little bit different today. It's day 4 of my wife's on vacation, so we're going to go fishing. Problem is we're under a high wind warning. What do they call it? A red flag warning or something like that. So I can't make it out today. So I'm going to do a video on shore fishing secrets for Pueblo Reservoir. Been fishing there for years and know a thing or two to catch fish out there. So come along and let's dive into it.
When it comes to fishing Lake Pueblo, water temperature is the key. In the spring, if the water temperature is below the mid-50s, I don't even bother. Yes, you can still catch fish out there, but it's likely to be pretty slow going as the fish are still pretty docile due to low water temperature, and they are not yet aggressive. Once the water temperature starts getting up into the high 50s, then I'll start walking back into the larger, shallow coves. The reason I head into the coves is because the water in these shallow coves don't circulate as much and with the main reservoir water and can be 5 to 10 degrees warmer than the main lake itself. Once that water temperature starts hitting the high 50s to the low 60s back in the coves, the crappie will start to wake up and start getting aggressive. I like to get all the way back into the coves with live minnows and 2-inch curl tail grubs. And while you're fishing for crappie, you'll get the occasional bass as well using these setups. I've also found that afternoons or evenings are often best in the early season on nice days, as the water temperature will slowly rise throughout the course of a day and it will be at its peak in the evening. During this early season, I like to go with a 4-pound test leader and have found that a light leader will definitely get you more strikes. I would love to give you a time frame for this, but water temperature is totally dependent on the weather. A few years back, I was back in the coves catching crappie like crazy on April 10th, but this year the water temperatures didn't get high enough to fish the coves till about the beginning of May. If you're into catfish as well, drop your favorite stinky bait in these coves as they are starting to get their juices flowing as well. Cut baits, chicken livers, hot dogs, commercial catfish baits all work out here well for them. As the temperatures start to creep into the low to mid 60s, the bass will really start waking up. They will be focused on spawning near the shorelines, and the fishing can be really great for them with mini bass baits including jerk baits, jigs, and even a good old night crawler under a bobber, knocking them dead. As the water temperature continues to increase, I'll start moving out of the coves and we'll start fishing the points just outside the coves. Water temps will start increasing to the mid 60s to the low 70s, and these points will really start getting good for bass, and the walleye will really start getting aggressive. As far as bait, you can't go wrong with a good old night crawler below a slip bobber. I like to use a slip bobber as opposed to the standard clip-on bobber because you can slide the bobber stop to the depth you want to be at. Say you want to be fishing 12 feet below the surface, a standard clip-on bobber is not really going to work for you as it makes it impossible to cast. I will also increase my leader size to 6 or 8 pound test as the walleye's teeth can really rip up lighter leaders. Usually about mid-May, live leeches will become available locally, and that is my bait of choice during this time of year. You can usually get them at Sportsman's Warehouse, the Shell Station off of Purcell and 50, as well as a few other stores in town. Both bass and walleye will pound the leeches, and don't be surprised when you hook into a nice wiper as well. While I throw out one rod with a bobber and bait, I'll also work a second rod with my favorite jig. I'll work a 2 or a 3-inch curl-tail jig in white or gray, depending on the watercolor, and often connect with bass, walleye, crappie, and wiper. As June hits, the water temperatures will increase, and I'll transition from the points to the drop-offs just off the points, as the fish start moving to the slightly deeper waters, looking for a little cooler water. The previous methods still work well, and the fishing is still great. You just need to move to where the fish are hanging. I've found that after a few weeks of leeches being the preferred bait, I actually catch more fish on whole night crawlers, and I'll just quit buying leeches completely. As we get further into the summer, though, temperatures will continue to increase, and a lot of the fish, especially the walleye, will start moving offshore to find even cooler waters. In addition, the shad, which is a main food source for the fish in the reservoir, will have spawned, and fish will gorge themselves on the massive amounts of fry that school up throughout the lake. At this time of year, shore fishing will start slowing down and get tougher. If you have a boat, you can go out with your fish finders, find these schools of shad, and where you find the shad, you'll often find fish lurking around them for an easy meal. During the hottest times of summer, though, fishing can get really slow and brutally hot. And personally, I start transitioning to fishing the river below the dam, as it's nice to wet wade the river and keep cool that way. But there you have it. Those are my secrets, my Pueblo Reservoir hacks to shore fishing and catching fish. I hope it helps you out and you catch the whoppers this season. If you like this video, please give me a thumbs up. That helps me out. And we'll see you again on the water next time.